Jnanakosha, Puranas.
Sargaccha pratisargaccha vamsho manvantaraani cha vamshanucharitanchaiva Puranam panchalakshanam.
Vishnu
and probably was Vaishnavism text in its origin. However, the modern surviving manuscripts of Vamana Purana are more strongly centered around Shiva, while containing chapters that revere Vishnu and other Hindu gods and goddesses. It is considered a Shaivism text. Further, the text hardly had the character of a Purana and is predominantly a collection of Mahatyamas, that is travel guides, to many Shiva related places in India with legends and mythology woven in. The text is non-sectarian and its first version was likely created by the 9th to 11th century CE. The Padma Purana characterizes and categorizes Vamana Purana as a Rajas Purana, and the text barely contains even as few chapters of cosmology, genealogy, mythology and manvantras accepted in a Purana. The text includes Saro Mahatyam, which is a 28 chapter guide to the Tirthas, rivers and forests of region around Taneshwara and Kurukshetra in modern Haryana, as well as sites in modern eastern Punjab. Vamana Purana is the only Purana which gives a detailed and comprehensive account of the avatars, incarnations, along with a number of other topics including characteristics of the Puranas. Order of Vamana Purana. According to Vishnu Purana, Vamana Purana stands in the 14th rank in the order of Puranas. Devi Bhagavata Purana gives it as the 8th rank, but according to Linga Purana and Vamana Purana, it is 13th rank in the order. But all these Puranas claim it as Mahapurana. Origin of Vamana Purana. Vamana Purana was narrated by sage Pulasya to Narada when asked by him. Then in Naimisaranya, other sages asked Narada, and so he narrated it to them. Another edition says the Romaharshana Sutta narrated to sages from Naimisaranya. Structure of Vamana Purana. Traditionally, 10,000 is the number believed to be the number of verses in it. The Vamana Purana consists only of 5,813 stanzas and 5 prose pieces, which were stotras. Seeing the suggested number of verses and actual number of verses, it is believed that later half part of the Purana is missing. It is said that it contained 2 bhagas, but we are left with extant Purva Bhaga consisting of 6,000 verses only. Available edition of Vamana Purana has 95 adhyayas. No other types of division such as Khanda, Samhita is available. According to Narada, Suchi, there should be 4 Samhitas of Vamana Purana. There are Maheshwari, Bhagavati, Shauri and Ganeshwari. Each of them was of 1,000 verses. But subjects of these Samhitas are also given by Narada as Sauchi. Maheshwari Samhita discusses about Lord Krishna and his devotees. Bhagavati is about incarnations of goddesses. Sauri tells us about the importance of sun, and lastly Ganeshwari gives the Ganesha Mahatya that is important. It is also said Vamana Purana might be composed between the 100 AD to 200 AD, but it is also suggested that 7th AD as the period of Vamana Purana. Subject matter of Vamana Purana. The subject matter of this work is described at its very beginning, where Narada asked Pulasya about the assumption of the form of Vamana by Vishnu. waging of a war by Prahalada, though a Bhagavata, against God's acceptance of wifehood of Shiva by Sati, the daughter of Daksha, the glory of the places of pilgrimage, account of Dana, Vrata, Upasana. This shows that though the Vamana Purana is originally a Vaishnava Purana, it gives an equal reverence to Shaivism and other religious sects. The legends and episodes in the Vamana Purana are interesting and didactic in character. Its glorification of land, rivers, forests, and tirthas of Kurukshetra suggests that it was composed in that region in a connection with glorification. Legends of gods and demons have been narrated. The extent Vamana deals with karma vipaka, the duty of castes and ashramas, general customs, eatables and non-eatables, purification and impurity, and Vishnu worship. It lacks, however, all the 5 themes characteristics of the older Mahapuranas. The contents of the Purana do not agree with the information regarding the Vamana Purana contained in the Matsya and Skanda. According to this Purana, that in which the 4-faced God taught the 3 objects of existence in connection with the greatness of Trivikrama, which treats also Vamana Kalpa and which consists of 10,000 verses, is called the Vamana Purana. There is no mention of the Vamana Kalpa, nor is the Purana said to have been narrated by Brahma. On the other hand, it is narrated by Pulisya to Narada and not even by Loma Harshana to sages of the Naimisharanya forest, as is generally the case with the other Puranas. The Shaiva materials in the present Vamana, as contrasted with the title and contents given in the Matsya and Skanda, show that the Purana in its earlier form was a Vaishnava treatise and that it was later recast by Shiva worshippers who changed the work with additions and alterations in such a way that very little of its earlier contents was retained. The Vamana Purana contains much material on geography, sociology, history, culture and philosophy of ancient India. In this Purana, at many places, Puranic narratives are lifted to the refinement of greater art. The Purana exhibits a variety of meters and poetic embellishments. 4 sects of Shaivism. Vamana Purana has given 4 sects of Shaivism, namely Shaiva, Pashupata, Kalamandamana and Kapalika. Shaiva is the Vasishta's son, Shakti is the founder of Shaiva cult, and Vamana Purana he believed as the incarnation of Shiva. Gopagya Yajna was the pupil of Shakti and he was the main sage of Shaiva cult. Pashupata cult was started by the students of Lakulisha, namely Kaushika. Cult of Pashupata was mainly started among Kshatriyas. Kaladamana. The cult, namely Kalamukha, is explained here by the name of Kaladamana. People of this cult mainly worship Shaiva in the form of Mrityunjaya or Bhavanataka. Kalamukha cult mainly flourished in South India and there are many inscriptions in South India about this cult. Lakulisha is considered as the founder of Kalamukha cult. Kapalika cult is associated with Kapali Shiva or Bhairava form of Shiva. It originates from the sage Danda. Union of Hari and Hara. Vaishnavism and Shaivism have equal importance in Vamana Purana. There are no quarrels between Vishnu and Shiva for superiority as we find in the other Purana. On the other hand, both of them point out towards the other one for superiority. Description of demons. Another important aspect of this Purana is it has stories of demons. Maybe it is because The Purana is narrated by Pulasya, whose ancestors were demons. Asuras are described as the followers of Dharma. Buddhist priests of Magadha are also called as Asuras in Vamana Purana. Historical evidence of unity of religion. During the time of the composition of Vamana Purana, various religious religions existed. Hence, during that time, disputes between many religions were solved and society flourished. Historically, it happened during the period of Harshavardhana. His brother Rajyavardhana was Buddhist and father Prabhavardhana was a devotee of Aditya. Harshavardhana himself was a follower of Buddha, Aditya and Vishnu.